subscribe, love, like. We're sponsored by the Spunk Lube and rebroadcast by the Demon Seed Radio Network. We could not do any of this without you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Please give us that bump. Porn Stars People Podcast. I'm Dan Frigolette. I'm here with Kimmie Kaboom. This is our second episode. Thank you for doing this.
I was kind of forced to. But, I'm sorry. It's a pleasure.
Have I violated consent?
He's not violated consent, but what you did do was, 5 o'clock, right? I'll put you down. I'm like,
this is how I found out that Kimmie's been crushing it in the business. She after 2 days of me thinking that we had to confirm things, she goes, "No, you're gonna have to go through Daryl to check my schedule." And then that's when I was
oh
like,
my gosh.
"Oh shit!" She said we were an agent now.
No. I only said that because Daryl is filming for his website now.
I'm just fucking with you. You're one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
You're one of the only people in this business that has my back, and that is consistent, and I appreciate that sincerely.
I will answer your phone calls.
You're also one of the only people that that will basically tell me straight up how it is.
Yep.
And I'm very annoyed with you because you were very dead on about awards shows, but I made it one of my main goals on this trip to go to the awards show, and it was not fun. I had fun. I can have fun in every situation, but the circumstances of what I thought were going to make it fun did not exist.
Did you drink?
I don't drink.
I don't drink either.
Well, also, the thing is, nobody's paying attention. Everybody's there for only selfish reasons. And then also, halfway through the show, everybody has left because they didn't win or they don't care anymore.
Right.
It was very wild. And the fact that they say more categories at the end, this is what I found. I just found this out about the Grammys, too. Like, the Grammys, they'll announce 30 Grammys at the end of the show.
Right.
So people are walking out of the stadium, and they're just announcing it on a screen.
It's like a little teleprompters rolling up the winners.
And bang, 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 bang. You don't even have time to process it.
Right.
Because they only send 3 or 4, or whatever. For this particular show, they only send 10 or 12 across the stage.
Right.
It's wild. It's
right.
crazy.
Yeah. We were able to live stream some of it, but then I was just exhausted.
Did you go?
No.
Okay.
I walked the red carpet.
Yeah. You told me you weren't going to go.
Well, I walked the red carpet. Well, the reason why is there was a little bit. I think it was probably on my end when I went to RSVP for the red carpet in the awards. I guess I didn't follow through with, or something didn't happen where it didn't link into their system. So when I go up there going, "Hi, I'm Kimmie Kaboom. I'm here to get my awards pass," and they're like, "We don't have you." I said, "But I'm nominated twice."
Yeah.
And then, but I don't want to be that person. I never want to be that person. So I'm just like, you know what? If we work, he said, I can put you on the waiting list. And I'm like, you know what? If it happens, it happens. It was meant to be. If not, it's all good.
Well, that's how I felt, was that I got on a waiting list as a companion, and I was like, and it felt like it felt like it wasn't going to happen. But my date was very cool about the whole thing. It was very, and it came through, and it was great. But there is a little bit, and there was a moment. You were with me when I signed up for the AVN Stars, and then I was hanging out in that booth, and so then
I actually told him how to do that.
100%,
anyway.
and you got the credit as the referral. I hope. But so the thing was, I was going in there for coffee for a couple of days, and then I made the mistake last day, kept my pass on, and then I felt the full punch in the face of the bureaucracy of the thing. I go home with my press pass on. And I have the thing on, and I'm in the back, and I'm getting coffee, and I've already been in there all day. And then somebody runs over to me. They go, "You can't be in here." And I go, "I'm sorry?" And they go, "You're press. You can't be in here. You have your own whole thing upstairs that you got your own." And by the way, the press thing doesn't have any refreshment, nothing. None of the things I need. It's also in other places.
It doesn't have an AVN Stars thing.
It doesn't have any of it.
It doesn't have the makeup and the
all I wanted was coffee, right? That's all you got to do to make me happy. Yeah, that's all you got to do to make me happy. Give me some coffee. So I'm getting this coffee, and then as I'm pouring, and I was like, "Oh," and then I show her my white thing, and she said, "You can't have both. So you have to choose." And I go, "Okay, I choose here.
I choose coffee."
I choose here. I have the coffee in my hand. By the way, all of this is happening at 2:30 on the last day of the convention. The whole building closes in an hour and a half. So I go, "Okay, I choose here." And she goes, "Well, then we have," and then she makes it like it's going to be this big chore for me. She goes, "Well, then we have to take away your press badge and give you a talent badge." And I waited in my head, and I go, "That's exactly what I want. Yes, please, let's do that." And then she goes, "Well, then you can't take pictures on the floor." And then again, I go, "I'm not taking pictures on the floor."
Right.
"Yes, please." Mm-hmm. And then I was like, "You know
just
what?
give me, can I have this cup of coffee?
I
It's
just
already
want the cup of
poured."
coffee. She wouldn't even let me finish pouring a cup of coffee. I didn't even put a top on the coffee. So I go upstairs with a half cup of coffee, no top, and I go, "You know what? I'll just come back in an hour and we'll deal with it." And it's like, nothing's going to be there in an hour. So it was this crazy thing. So that happened to Amberly Rothfield too. She's like the number one money producer on AVN Stars, and she couldn't log in from her phone because service. And
Nobody could log in with their phone
because of service.
It was just a bad reception.
Right, and then they wouldn't give her a pass, and she's like, on the one hand, she's like, I have Tony Rio's phone number in my hand, or do I try to like be normal with this person? But they were like, we'll log in on our laptop, and she's like, I'm not logging into my shit on your laptop. That's like a massive.
Well,
security
the thing is, and it happened to me. It happened to just about everybody that wanted to monetize their account.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. To be a part of the AVN Stars, you had to be able to make it a monetized platform where you could make money off of it. And they looked at it that way, so that because they had a lot of swag, a lot of nice swag too.
Yeah.
So it was just like it wasn't like everybody wasn't like freeballing it in there and just taking shit.
Yeah.
So I get what their process was, but I had the same problem too. I was having problems converting mine to a monetized account, and it was just the reception.
Yeah.
Everybody was going through it. So what I did was like, I was in Wednesday to get my shit, and or Tuesday, and I went and came back to the room and logged into my laptop and fixed it. It was all hunky dory, and
Sure.
the next day I went in and got my shit. So it was a problem everyone faced. It wasn't just her. It was just her. It was everyone was facing it.
Yeah, but the takeaway for me was this bureaucracy moment of like Amberly had it and I had it, where we just look at the person and go, let's like logically problem solve for a second, and then they go, no, like these rules, even if they conflict, are the rules, and I'm not even a human right now. And it was that moment.
Yeah.
And I empathize with people in like customer service roles, to the fact that sometimes it sucks.
Right.
But also you don't have to be at that job. And also like just be humans in the middle of the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and I don't know, and maybe it's just because I've been dealing with AVN for many years now. I just really, I know a lot of people in it, and I kind of get it from both sides. I get it. So it's obviously they're being, they're doing what they're being told. So
Right.
obviously they're just trying to do their job.
Right.
So just like with the red carpet pass, it was one of those things where it's like, it's all good. It's like
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person that's
Yeah.
going to be like going off because, oh my God, I don't have a red carpet. If it was meant to be, it was going to happen. It worked out beautifully. I was
Yeah.
able to walk the red carpet. I came back to the room. I logged
Which is
into
sort of the more
AVN Stars,
valuable
so-
thing. It looks like you were there and you didn't have to sit through that long show that had that didn't start for 2 hours and that was too hot for no reason.
I don't know how the show was for
Yeah.
you, but I know
what I'm saying.
about that time I was probably knee deep in sushi. But I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You got the better end of the deal. Looked like you were there, but you didn't have to actually do the chore of being there. It was great.
Right.
I had the opposite. Nobody knows that I was there. Actually, this happened. I won't say who it is, but somebody turns around. Somebody with what I thought was a good sense of humor turns out is a bad sense of humor. They turn around for I'm trying to like hide a little bit because I could be the fourth row, but I'm gonna because I could feel the energy of people that didn't get floor shit that were in the industry.
So you saw the
getting
meme
mad
mug?
at me
Yeah.
about having floor shit.
Like the laser beams in the back of your head. Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. So I'm just going to be humble, whatever. So a couple rows up, somebody goes, how did you get in here? And they're yelling my name. They're yelling my name. And I go, shh, don't tell anybody. Clearly a joke. And then they go, what the fuck? And then later on, they're walking by, and I go to like shake their hand, and they go, no, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And they like stormed off. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
what is happening? What's wrong with you? So
See, I on the other hand would have been like,
Yeah.
I would have made a,
yeah, what a dumb.
There's a lot of this,
Yeah,
I mean,
the whole thing is just a dumb, like weird, like. So this is what I envy about you, and then comedians that start at a certain point in their career. If you don't start in this thing when everybody else starts, like at 20, and you're just trying to figure it out, you come into this with like a lot of like world knowledge. So then you see the situation for what it is, and you go, "Fuck all this. It doesn't matter."
That's the beauty of being old.
Right. It's the way.
The silver lining of being old,
Right, you've already figured it out. Comedians that come into comedy in their 40s have experienced so much life; they have a lot of shit to talk about. In your 20s, you're getting good at a skill, but you don't have anything to talk about.
You're an asshole.
Probably. But as a
I remember at 20 thinking, oh, 40 is so old. I was such an asshole.
for sure, for sure, there's that as well. Yeah, well, there's the whole selfish side of things.
Yeah.
And not worrying about how it affects the rest of the world, which
Right.
we've all been victims of that. So, yeah, it's I don't know, but you're one of the realest people in the thing, and I appreciate that about you.
Well, I try to keep. I mean, what people don't know is that me and Daryl are just we're just me and Daryl.
Yeah.
Like when this is all done, the eyelashes come off, the makeup comes off, and I'm usually no makeup. Jeans, t-shirt.
Yeah.
I keep it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
basically how I walked across the BBW Awards
Well,
show
yeah,
is
so
pretty much how I was.
It's interesting for me to be accepted by this group of people because I'm not in this field and I'm not trying to be in this field. So people get confused sometimes. They'll ask me if I'm trying to like backdoor sneak into like getting content made. Other people would just straight up ask me like, "Hey, can I borrow your dick? I got to shoot this blowjob scene." And it's like, no, I'm not. That's not why I'm here. So I have this weird clarity of not having to be here. I can just come to the convention, see the thing for what it is, and then leave, which gives me another clarity to another.
I love the fact that you just said
Borrow your
backdoor
dick.
and your dick.
Yeah, let me
at the same
borrow your
time.
dick. Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, there's plenty. There are people now, gay friends of mine that are that are like begging me to. They're like, "Oh, you're that close, so just start doing content."
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I thought we had a friendship. Now you're making it weird. You're creeping me out. And then people.
Come on, man. Just a dick's a dick. Just
Yeah.
take it.
No, and I've been sneaking. This is the level. I don't know if we talked about this the first time, but there was when I first got to porn interview type thing. There's this estimation in the porn people and the fetish people that everybody can just sell their socks. And I was like, I'm not ever gonna be able to sell my socks. I finally reached the level of what I know I'm worth, and it is for Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. I will send you simulated nudes. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I will send everything but my dick if you
Or
send me.
Starbucks gift cards.
Well, no, for me it's Dunkin'. So if you send
Okay,
me a
just all
Dunkin' Donuts
Dunkin',
gift
okay.
card, I will send you as nude as you can get without ass cheeks spreading and showing my
What's
dick.
the minimum like
I don't
dollar
know.
amount?
I-
Like,
we'll s-
what is your minimal pimp out for a Dunkin' Donuts card?
Well, it
Like,
depends if it's
It's like a $10 card,
It
a
depends
$25
if it's,
card.
it depends if
what
it's
is
a
it?
full-time membership or not. So I had a girl I hooked up with in Albuquerque sending me Dunkin' every week. So it was a coupon every week. So then she's like basically like my monthly subscriber. And then I had another dude who just whenever he gets $10, he sends me $10. So it's like that's the arrangement.
A gift card's a gift card, right?
Yeah, yeah. I need that. I'm getting that coffee either way. I may as well.
So I'm just saying, I mean, as a consumer, I mean, inquiring minds
This is
would
my
like
problem.
To know.
Is I've never been able to set my price
No,
as
no,
a comedian
because
and,
like,
as,
what
and as
would
a
you
piece
do?
of meat.
Like it's like a Klondike thing. What
Yeah.
would you do for $100
Right,
Dunkin' gift card?
Right, I don't know. I
mean,
told you.
What can I get for that?
Yeah,
I, mean,
I don't know. I told you. I tweeted. I'm very loose. I tweeted before the McGregor fight that I would suck a dick for a McGregor ticket. So I don't know.
It's a good thing you didn't because it was only
right.
40 seconds.
And I was on stage during it, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
You would actually not been done sucking the dick.
I would have.
The night
yeah.
would be over with.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I was talking about. It's like because somebody was like, "Oh, it's just 15 minutes of your life." It's like, no, I would be very bad at it. It would take me like 2.5 hours to figure out how to make this gentleman come. I would be terrible at it.
Well, the funny thing is, can you imagine if you did suck the dick and the fight had already started and you hadn't even made the man
I
come
didn't
yet?
make I didn't make it.
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
fight was
And
over.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. That is funny.
Maybe it's only funny for
It's a
me.
good bit.
I
No, it's a
just-
good bit. It's a good bit. No, I'm a comedian, so it washes over me, and then I store it, and then the laugh never has to come.
And then,
Yeah.
and then on stage 3 months
Yeah.
later, he's going to mention this.
It's like tantra. Comedian, you tell a comedian joke, it's like tantra. We're coming all the time. Everything's funny. We don't have to. We
Yeah.
don't have to come.
Right.
So so you're okay. So this was AVN. This was an eye-opening weekend. Everything I thought about the awards and the thing. Now that I'm finally accepted, I feel differently about, which makes me feel weird.
This was a weird show, though. It felt very different this year.
Why?
I don't know. It just felt different.
What was the?
I don't know what
the
it
vibe?
was. I don't know. That was just it. It was just like a very different vibe this year. And I don't mean that necessarily bad or good. You know, it's not like really bad or good.
This
It just felt-
component was weird. This made things weird. Them pushing this. They pushed this a lot. If you watch the show, they push this every
yeah.
third presentation. They were like, you have to join AVN stars.
Right. Well, it's it's about money at the end of the day. It's a business
sure.
at the end of the day.
I
So
think that.
it's a big platform, and it's built. They built it up pretty quick. It's it's been
Yeah.
coming up really quick, pretty fast. So yeah, it's just been it was a long show. You know, it was like, I mean, no longer than normally is. It just felt
Yeah,
so much
interesting.
longer.
I think it's your clarity that you are at a place where you don't have anything left to gain from the thing. You've already established yourself, and that's almost how I'm so close to that moment. Almost the only reason I want to host the AVN Awards is to be able to get some sort of outside like approval or like I want to just be able to like have it on my resume so that everyone takes my fucking interview. Like it's annoying.
No difference than me wanting to actually win an award. So
Yeah, but
I mean, obviously this year I'm very happy with everybody that won. But I mean, like it really inspires me and strives me to do even more for next year.
But to be nominated,
but I'm
I think is enough.
I fucking love the fact that I'm
Yeah.
nominated. Can I say fucking? I don't know if I can
You can
say
say whatever
fucking.
you want.
But yeah, I love being nominated. I mean, this is like the third year in a row I've been AVN nominated.
Yeah.
So, and I also had a niche nomination too this year. So,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I mean, a lot of people get upset when they don't win, but honestly, I'm
that's
at peace.
that's
I'm
what was
cool with
interesting
it.
about being at the award show. It's like you lost sight of the point. Like the thing that you wanted, you are now recognized enough that they looked at you as potentially like to win it. But winning it doesn't actually achieve anything more. Right, it's like why we'll put on a thing like Grammy nominated. It's like it's enough that they've recognized that you are a part of this business.
I am very grateful because it just means out of everybody out there, I was one of those people that they, like you said, that they hey,
You got
you know what?
recognized.
She actually did some shit this year. Let's recognize her. So I'm cool with that. I mean, yeah, of course we all strive to get an award. That would be awesome. But I mean, yeah, I am really cool with the nomination.
Yeah.
Really cool with it.
All right, outside of porn politics, what's going on in life? Your children are older than when we interviewed. You guys are further
Well,
into the business.
they were all like they're all adults.
They're grown
and
up
so
before-
and
yeah.
they're only getting older.
Yeah.
I did announce last year when I got back from AVN, I did have my first grandbaby.
Nice.
And actually, I told the grandbaby in the womb, this is how disciplined my grandchild is. That I shall brag. I actually talked to the belly and said, "Look, can you wait till I get back from AVN? That would make things so much easier for me." And I kid you not, we flew in last year on the 29th, got in bed. About 4 hours later, they said, "We're going to the hospital." By the time I got to Birmingham, boom, the baby was born.
Great.
So disciplined. My grandchild is
that's
like
funny.
on it.
You can make deals. I made a deal with my little baby cousin that even when she was like 1, I made a deal because at that point they were splitting custody, my cousin and his ex-wife, and I only get to see her an eighth of the times that she's around because he's got whatever. I have to time the weekends, and that doesn't mean I'm going to be nearby. So it's like she was crying one of the times, and I was like, "Listen, I'm only here so much. You can't cry when I'm around." Or we're wasting time. You can't have a tantrum moment here. And she's honored that deal. She's 3 now. She's honored that deal the entire time.
You have to wait till you go home.
you can have it. You
Just
can
save it.
You can have a temper tantrum with mommy, or you can have a temper tantrum with daddy when I leave. But you can't have one while I'm here.
Right.
And she's honored that deal.
Yep.
The way that we talk to like dogs, old people, and children never makes sense to me because we're pretending like they don't have the ability to comprehend, and I don't think it's fair.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
We have a red nose named Lucy, and she has her own Disney Plus profile.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of leaving the house without leaving the TV
You
on.
put
for
Disney
her.
Plus on?
I sure do. She's got her own account.
I'm still not for sure what dogs can and cannot see. My father, because
But why make them lonely when you're not there?
there's that. But my father tried to lose my dog last night almost, and then and then he FaceTimed me with her, and I was like, I don't think she can see FaceTime, man. She's like, she doesn't know. So she can hear my voice, and she starts looking around like behind the door, like I'm there. I'm like, we're just torturing her now. But I got the worst. My father grew up with the understanding of masculinity that you would get from stoic 50s because that was his dad, and he texts me, "You need to call me." And the only thing my father only calls me like for emergency shit. We just have a whatever, he's my dad, we're good, and we have a whatever relationship. You need to call me is fucking like
Like
my
DEFCON
dog
5.
is
Yeah.
my dog is dead. Like I'm worried like he's like like she got run over. We
I've ran
fucked
over
up.
the dog.
We fucked up. Yeah. So I call and he goes and he's like trying to be calm, but I can't get to the information fast enough. And he goes, "Can you do me a favor and call your dog into the phone?" So it's like, dude, when was the last time you saw her? Where do you think she is? Where are we calling into? What's happening? And he's like, I know exactly where she is, up in the corner. And I was like, when was the last time you had eyes on her? And he's like, 5 minutes. And I was like, dude, because my grandfather's backyard, they tore down the fences. So I was like, dude, she like makes her way over to the shed. If you don't correct her, she's like side eyeballing. And if you don't go, hey, get the fuck away from the shed, then she goes behind it and whatever. And she guys go in this other guy's yard, which means she may be in the front yard by now.
Right.
So I'm panicking.
Right.
Both of us trying to be calm. And it's like, and now I'm whistling into the phone like a crazy person. But then once we got her back, and he's trying to FaceTime with her, I don't think she can see it on the phone. So I don't know that your dog can watch TV effectively. But I've seen the videos of dogs reacting to other dogs.
Well, I don't know of any of this, but I
Yeah.
just feel like just hearing the interaction of other
Yeah.
people, because I mean, if it's not before Disney Plus came out, I actually had it with like just TV in general. I would turn TV on,
Sure.
so she's not feeling lonely or
So
something.
what is there? What's the channel or what's the thing on Disney Plus that the dog is responding specifically to?
I don't know what she responds to. I'll literally have this conversation. I know it's very weird. I'm like, okay, Lucy, what you want to watch? Like she's gonna tell me, right?
Right.
So, but I just find something. I try to find something that just kind of keeps running,
Yeah.
and just to kind of keep her entertained and
A
everything.
couple of these platforms have come up with dog channels. Like Pet
And I
TV.
do watch. I totally got rid of my cable and direct TV like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I like totally went to the whole Roku platform because I pay like $35 for some of the major things, and that's it.
Yeah.
Every month, So I'm like, I like this option better.
It's pretty good.
And because I'm not home that much, it's not like I get to watch
the
TV
last
a
time I
lot.
had cable, my bills were coming in at like $180, $190
Oh,
a month.
mine
and
were
it's
like double that.
And
Mine
I'm
were
like
like
not even traveling. Like it's like yeah.
It was crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, ours was running like almost $300 a month, and I'm like,
Yeah.
every month I was having to call and go, why am I getting
Right.
sports tax? I don't even watch sports.
Right.
I don't even have a sports package.
I would call every couple months and like try to cancel, and they would send me to this high sales team that would
Yeah.
be like, okay, what are we gonna do now? Stripping shit off,
Yeah.
adding shit in.
Well, what if we do? What if we take $100
We'll
off
give
your
you
bill
free
today?
Showtime,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
I can't tell them I'm like logged into my father's Showtime. It's
Right.
like it's these dumb conversations.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm scalping that from somebody else.
Right.
But yeah, but that's what we do now. I mean, I'm sold on that. I'm all about it.
Yeah, Disney Plus looks pretty dope.
It is. The Mandalorian's awesome.
But we're back to this thing. We're back to the thing where we're spending $5-10 on each thing.
Right.
So we're back where we're basically spending about $100 on all of the services between internet and whatever. They still got us.
But really, yeah, we're still going to be like attached.
Yeah.
At some
And they still got us.
But with what I'm getting to do now, it's least even with all the little extra stuff I'm paying for, it's still like $35. And
Which is
then
pretty good.
then you throw in the internet. I'm still below this outrageous amount of money they were
Yeah.
wanting for the other thing.
Yeah.
So I'm still winning.
Well, that's the thing is right.
So
you're
suck
right.
it.
Yeah, you can bounce the internet off of thing. But
Right.
they always try to give you the phone too. They're like, "Do you need a phone?" Like, I don't need a phone. There's voice over IP. It's free with the
Yeah,
thing.
I
It's like-
haven't had a landline since the '90s. I'm
Yeah.
good.
I kept a landline for that thing, and then I started noticing that the only thing that was calling it was them
Right.
to try to sell me shit.
sell you
And
something
I was
else.
like, "Fuck
Yeah.
you," and I disconnected the process. But so
Yeah.
children, old people, and dogs, I don't think need to be baby talked.
Yeah.
Like most of my communication with my dog is nonverbal because she's a wild animal at heart. Right? Like there's these things that are true about the world. Like have you seen the egg challenge with dogs?
Mm-mm.
If you put an egg in a dog's mouth, it will treat it so gently. It'll like barely like if you put an egg in your dog's mouth, it's not going to crush it because it knows that it's an egg. And you can hear the teeth just touch like like in what's the movie where he puts his teeth on the curb? American History X. Just touch, and people will just hold the egg and just I don't want to break it, and then somebody's will put it down and like almost like nest with it. There's just something in nature that's like that. And then but this weird thing with old people where like I started playing retirement homes, and they've censored it back down to G-rated for old people, and it's like
They're the freakiest
they're
fuckers
fucking
ever.
in the other room right
Right.
now. Also, they were the ones that were swearing in. So why can you get all the way to like, oh, you can see all the things, and then we take you back down to you can't
Do
see
you
all the
know
things?
that there was a study that the highest rate of STDs
Yeah.
are in
That's
nursing
my favorite
homes?
fact. Yeah, the
So I'm
transmission
just
rate
saying,
is crazy. Yeah,
somebody's fucking.
they're all fucking.
Yeah.
And it's and it's like you can feel when you go to these places. It's like when the dynamic is a lot of women and
Mm-hmm.
very little men. You can feel the dudes know that they're literally. It's that old joke. It's like, hey dad, two bulls and type of thing. Hey dad, why don't we go down there and fuck one of those cows? And he
Yeah.
goes, no, why don't let's run down there and fuck one of those cows? And he goes, no, we're gonna walk down there and fuck all of them. And so you can feel that on the dudes in the nursing
Yeah.
homes when it's like if they don't have a walker and they're whatever, it's just, they have a happy life.
Yeah.
They're fucking everybody.
It's crazy.
They're fucking everybody.
That's one thing I noticed about Vegas is that there is like a lot of we're talking about kids with just like why do you bring kids to Vegas?
I don't know.
I'm very confused by this. It confuses me.
My parents never brought us. We didn't get to go to Hawaii, San Francisco, or Vegas, and my parents had gone while we were alive, and we never understood it. But it's like, Now as a grown up, it's like, what? Yeah,
Why do you
don't
do
bring
that?
your fucking
Well,
kids.
it's like, I mean, when we were growing up, we're in the South. I'm from the South, so it's like we went to every like fucking battlefield from here to.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, everywhere.
We got to go to Disney. That's what we got to
we
go
did.
to.
We did a Disney trip too, but I mean, but before we got to Disney, we stopped
Sure.
at every
Make it count.
every
Yeah.
landmarker of a battlefield
That's funny.
of a
Was-
battle we lost. So
Really?
it's just,
Oh, because wait, are your folks like? Do they still like believe in the Confederacy? Is that a thing?
Oh no! It's not that. I mean, we don't have like
Okay.
the flag or shit
They're not
flying around or nothing.
reenactors.
But no, we're not. No, we're not.
Okay.
We're not that bad. But no, it's just as a history
Yeah.
thing as we were growing up. It's like I know I lived with my sister in Arkansas for a while, and I know we drove in a station wagon. Like 6 people
Yeah.
in a station wagon.
Yeah.
The
With
old
you
school
got
with the panel.
you're in the trunk.
With a panel, like
Yeah.
and
Right. I
the
know.
Griswold
The
kind of
wood.
wagon.
Yeah. The wood grain.
Yeah. It was classic. We were like we're driving, and she made it fun though, because like she would like wrap up, like she would steal like the Happy Meal prizes. Like this is how she made things happen. She's like, I love her to death, but she would like for her work lunches would do Happy Meals throughout the
Hilarious.
year.
This is
and
adorable.
she would take it's awesome. It's really
It's
awesome.
adorable.
And she would take the toys from those Happy Meals
Yep.
and save them in a bag, and then she'd wrap them up. And then after we went so many miles, we all got to open a prize.
Yeah.
That's
great.
And it was a way to pass the time. And we actually this is back when we like had a tent.
Yeah.
We were like in a tent, and like it was just the craziest
And
thing.
tents, and not to be demeaning, but tents used to be made out of canvas and shit. So like
we could have died.
the waterproofing on every experience that my father had, and you're much younger than my father, but his experience of tents was like if you had one night where there was a storm, it's fucking terrible.
Right.
And then actually, even come to think of it, I had one experience, and tents now are very waterproof. And I had an experience where I got like washed out in like a very high tech tent, and I was like just old enough to like feel independent, but realize that I'm kind of a child. So once like the fucking wind started whipping up, and I'm like supposed to be a grown man, but I'm by myself and I'm scared and I want to cry, but it's weird. But you know what I mean? Like a tent could be a traumatizing environment.
Well, we went from the tent to a pop-up. We were
Right.
highballing,
Yeah.
We went from the tent to the
Pop-up camper.
Pop-up camper.
Yeah.
And like we were in Texas one time with a pop-up camper, and like the wind blew and it flew the whole thing.
Did you knock over?
In the middle of the night though. You know how the beds in the pop-up for those that don't know about them, they like pop pop up and the beds slide out on each side.
Yeah.
So we've got people on one side, and you kind of pop it around and snap it to your bed.
Right.
And then when a high gust of wind comes through, it just unsnapped it.
Just to close on you?
We're just looking at the stars. No, it didn't
it
close.
came off.
Yeah, it came off. And we're like, I see the
Wow.
stars. It's awesome. It's great. Good times.
Yeah, you like.
Hashtag memories.
I don't know why we think these camper things are real. I was like starting to get into the camper idea, and then I watched one get into a crash on the highway, and I realized how fragile and brittle they are. It's nothing. This guy was driving a truck, and he we did that like a little S thing when they do the lane change, and he was just going too fast, and he didn't know how to drive with a trailer behind it. So he had probably like a 24-foot trailer. That's like a full camper thing, and he's got like a dually and like a Dodge Ram, but it goes through the S, and then the ass on the thing kept shaking, and I'm in the car with my mom. I could tell we got to stop because it's like something's happening. So then it smashes to the right, hits one of those like water cones, and then the momentum of that sent the truck into the median. Then the trailer hit the side of the wall, and then the truck popped back out. But then by the time this is happening, the truck's still trying to drive, and then the whole side of the trailer is just hanging off, and so we can see into the living room, and it's like that's not a real vehicle.
Well, I know. Well, I mean, and with all that being said, though, as traumatic as it may be, we are definitely like Daryl and our end game. We would like to have like a Class A motorhome, a small one, and I want to literally just be like
Where the engine's part of it.
I just want to be like a nomad and just
I dig that.
just plaster my KimmieKaboom.com logo on the back of it, and
That'd be cool.
go see national parks, and all the kids go, "Oh, mommy, is that boobs?"
What are those? Are those mountains? What is that? That would be fun. Use your breasts as like mountains in like a weird mural.
Right. Yeah.
And then
totally.
and then when you close.
I'm gonna sell like ad space on the camper
and then when
too.
you close
Like,
the
I've
other
got
side,
this-
then you
I've got
find out it's your
plans.
head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, so boobs is just the side. The top is your face, so that anybody who's flying by in a helicopter can see the whole.
Oh no,
image.
that should be like a complete nude mural. So if you're up, like if you're up in the, if you're up, they're like, holy crap, Dan, do you see that down there? That's a cooter.
Yeah.
Okay.
A cooter. I had a roommate once who called it a scooper. He kept calling it a scooper.
I don't know. Cooter was the day today.
So funny.
This week because I was shooting with a girl, and obviously when I'm going to have someone's face down there, I just like to make sure I'm fresh because it's
so
common
confused.
courtesy.
I'm so confused when you form sentences. You say cooter on the front of the sentence, and then you say down there at the end of the sentence. It's just you're
down
fighting,
there at the cooter.
Yeah, but you're fighting two different battles because on the one hand you're being sensory and censoring yourself. On the other hand, you called it a cooter.
No, I just say cooter because it's like calling it a JJ or a vagina or whatever.
But you're like blah 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 the pussy, and you're like down there. But it's like those are the two extremes.
It's like when I hand out my cards at the show, I'm like, would you like a picture of my vagina?
Yeah.
So.
Pussy pics.
And I actually even asked a guy, like, I was like, I just need a little small survey. Would you rather me say, would you like to see a picture of my cooter?
Yeah.
Would you like to see a picture of my vagina?
Yeah.
Or would you just like to see the pussy?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll take any of them. I'm like,
It's
you're not helping me here.
It's a great answer.
Yeah, so
He's like, why do I not have it in my hand?
yeah. Why am I having to answer a question? Just give me the damn picture.
Yeah, no, we can't. We hear the word pussy, cooter, and vagina. We can't think of anything else at that point.
JJ, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, shut down.
You know what I really realized, especially on this trip, is because I'm so immersed in the sexual and the porn thing for a conference, I get so. I go so other end. I become so non-sexual with my experience for the rest of the time. Now, part of it is like trying to be professional in this business and prove to like this industry that I'm not doing the podcast to fuck everybody. And the other one is like it's the reaction to it being so sexualized. So I'm like, I'll be at Exotica and probably not even masturbating that week because it's just so much, and I like shut that part down so that I'm not just like walking around half cocked all the time.
Well, but you also go into a work mode. It's
Right.
a different vibe. You go into. Daryl films a lot of our stuff. I mean, a few years ago he filmed me and another girl, and she had like 5-inch areolas.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah.
It's like bigger than most people's tits.
Yeah.
So it was like
It's like the whole microphone hit.
No, it was huge. It was like huge.
Yeah.
And so like 3 or 4 months later, when he's editing this video, he's like, she has really large areolas. I was like, you were 6 inches from her fucking tit.
Right.
You just now noticed that.
Focused.
He said, well, I was working. I was just focused, So
I did
try to err on the side of caution. You try to be professional. It would make things awkward if you're walking around with a heart on. You know?
So I realized on this trip that I get respect in this business and in this industry because I'm not fucking people, and it's on display that I'm not fucking people.
Right.
Because girls will hit on me in the podcast and off of the podcast, and I'm not fucking anybody. Like generally speaking,
Right.
I'm not fucking anybody.
Right.
Um,
That's the story he's telling. He's sticking to it.
Yeah, but then I realized that that integrity is there, and so then I get respect for that. But then I try to put it back to why I'm not getting the level. People don't view me necessarily as an ethics guy in comedy, and it's not because I've done anything that's unethical, but they don't know very specifically that I don't fuck comics. I don't fuck comics, but it's not on display because it's not out there. So I have a rule that I don't
Plus, you
fuck
don't
comics.
want to be their material.
No, well, I'm not worried about that, but I don't fuck comics. It's just messy, kind of like this. It's like I'm not gonna fuck the podcast guests because it's like, but it's not on display that I'm not fucking anybody. So I'm trying to figure out now how to make it clear
somebody,
that I have ethics.
Unless you were actually in the porn industry, you shouldn't be telling anybody who you're fucking anyway. Where's that?
That's true, but
Chivalry
it's all part
is
of the,
not dead.
But it's all part. No, but it's all part of the game.
Right.
And I'm not telling people who I am, but it is that it's obvious that I'm not.
Right.
Here,
Right.
because everybody who starts a podcast that interviews porn stars, we're worried that they're gonna try to fuck everybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are
And
trying to do
unfortunately,
that.
there are some people that they will do that. They will they go from I'm doing podcast and interviews to, hey, I thought about getting into being male talent. Would you like to? Nope, I'm good.
Right.
We go from an interview to.
Have you had that one?
I've actually had someone do that, doing the interview thing, and then
It's over.
and they're
Now
like,
they're like, well, I have these cameras,
yeah, it's like.
and I'm male talent now. You're like,
Yeah.
says who?
Says when?
Says what? Well, I paid $100 for this AIDS test, so
Right,
you may as well fuck me.
And actually, they're more than that, just so you know.
What's that? More than $100? I thought it was $100 every.
No, it's every 2 weeks I pay about $250.
No shit.
Yeah.
So okay, this I actually want to ask about, and not because of the other reason, but so I got a test that actually had more things on it. I talked about this the other day for for a thing. I had to get like all of my things checked, like sex down to cholesterol, down to like vitamin D, down to whatever. So it had all the things. They took all my fluids, and then it didn't cost me anything or whatever. It cost me whatever it cost me to do the doctor visit. Your industry does not accept that test.
No.
And why is that?
Okay.
So talent testing,
we
whatever.
do talent testing. There's a couple other like talent type tests that would take. Just because we know that with talent testing they have like barcode scanners now, where I can literally scan their barcode and I know legit 100% this was conducted in a lab.
So we're trusting the agency because people are going to try to show up with fake tests.
Unfortunately, it happens.
Okay.
It does happen.
So that's the
and
thing.
so it's not that it has anything to get against someone's doctor or someone's facility or whomever they are. But people, if you could counterfeit money, you could counterfeit a test.
So you guys are all paying this money, and it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money
cumulatively, so that the test actually holds up, and that that the source that's conducting the test can't be faked. That's the whole thing.
Right.
Okay.
It's the integrity of the test.
That makes sense.
So and that and a lot of times
because I'm looking at my test and I go, there's way more. There's more boxes on my test. Why would this not be a test that you guys would accept?
Right.
And it's because of that. Got
right.
it.
So it's just there's a little barcode on there. You can literally take your phone, you scan it, because for a long time we were having problems with people who would. They would just screenshot the results. And
Yeah,
like, hey,
something happened at Exotica.
Here's my results. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, either you need to log in right now and let me watch you log in.
Yeah.
Or let me scan your barcode.
Because it could be from whenever.
But I haven't had that problem. But I'm also very careful with who I'm working with.
Sure.
And I want to make sure, I usually work with people who have pretty good, backgrounds, and they're not
Sure.
like,
They're not skeezy.
Yeah, I try not to.
Well,
They're
yeah,
only
but
as slutty as I want them to be.
right, and somebody's only as truthful as their last lie.
So I just try to, keep it, tested. And obviously, when I'm, in kind of some of my off seasons where I'm not really, I'm only fucking my husband. Obviously, I'm not really doing anything else.
Yeah.
I may not do a test until I have to do a test.
Sure.
Until I have to come to work again.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I work with companies, they pay for the test, so it's not like I have to pay for it.
Oh, they do?
So
Okay. I didn't realize that.
they do for me. I'm sure other girls work it that
Sure.
way too.
I don't know.
So.
I'm just it was just a weird puzzle that I had in my head, like of this financial burden.
It's just
of
the
having
integrity
to spend
of
$500 a month, because it's like then that's a fixed cost of being in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
To be, when I like walked in and I was like trying to pay so my insurance. They're like, no, you're good. You gave us your blood and your pee and you're good. So I just thought that was weird. But that is why. But then the only other problem that you have, and I hope you guys realize this as an industry, is if you're allowing just this one company to do it, then if they decide to become bullshit at any point, then you're all kind of.
Well, I mean, and they're
risk.
they're not the only company out there. There are a couple other
Okay.
companies out there that are just as accredited as they are.
Okay.
So I mean, there are other options. I think they're just a company I'm real happy with.
Yeah.
And they serve a majority of the talent.
Fair enough.
I'm good with them.
Got it.
Good.
So what is you leave tomorrow?
We leave tomorrow. We've been here tomorrow will be 9 days.
When you do these trips, do you do anything else that is unporn related? Did you do anything for you guys?
Well, Daryl has family here, so we did get a little breakfast with them.
That's cool.
Before the show, and then we'll probably have breakfast with them tomorrow. We did have a few hours to go down to Fremont Street last night and get a little bit of the Fremont experience.
Did you fucking do the zip line or whatever it is?
No.
No? You don't do that
I'm
stuff?
good.
You ever jumped out of a plane? You ever done anything weird?
No, I haven't jumped out of a plane.
No?
Why would I jump out
Bungee?
of a perfectly sound plane?
From what I've seen about some of these planes, these are not perfectly sound planes, actually.
I'm just saying.
Some of these planes are not that good looking.
Unless it's like, unless it's a necessity. My life is in danger.
Yeah.
I just don't see.
Look, this is what people do for fun. I'm just asking the
But
question.
no, I didn't. Although I think that would
I
be
didn't
fun.
invent. I didn't invent skydiving, right?
I think it would be no. Smartass. I think it would be fun.
Why would I do this? I'm not selling the package right now.
I think it would be fun to do the zip line.
Yeah.
But my biggest fear is I could get like halfway done.
Yeah.
The zip line, I'd stop somewhere in the middle.
And then what
just kind
happens?
of be suspended there.
No, they just get
Somebody
the,
have to get a big elevator.
then they just get a wire and they like fucking fold you. It's like what happens? Then it's just embarrassing.
Hey John, would you get Big Billy and Bob? We're gonna need to get this fat bitch off the line.
Is that what it is? It's a what's it called? It's a
We got another
body image
We
thing?
got another
Is that
porker,
what it
Dan.
is?
Can we get the porker off the line?
I will say fat people do not like.
And plus, the trip would be really quick because I am fat. It's like zoom.
But amusement parks do not cater to fat people because there's all those motherfuckers that fly out of the Superman ride because they couldn't click the goddamn thing down because their bellies were too big.
I am grateful so far. Anything I wanted to do, I've been able to click it.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
mean. I mean, and teach their own. I'm just saying. I'm like, that's just like I've always been able to click it,
Right.
and I've been in airplanes where I have been seated with people who have had to share my seat.
And they have to ask for the
Well,
extender?
that and if they've apparently shared my seat with me.
Right.
So I mean, and I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm just kind of like, I did purchase this seat.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you going to give me half on this? Or
But
something?
even skinny people will try to steal your armrest.
Oh my God. I flew to Brazil and I had a guy who was super skinny and literally he was like laying on my
Yeah.
tit.
I had-
During the flight, he's just like, I'm like,
It's comfortable.
Hello?
What do you? I mean, you can't really blame him. I had a
For
guy
a
try
fee,
to lay
though.
on my shoulder once, and I had to wake him up and be like, "Come on, man! Like,
yeah.
this is not cool." And I was like, and I had to put the armrest between us, and then he huffed and puffed and like left and never came back, which was the best result ever.
Right.
And then I went to go to the bathroom a couple hours later on this flight, and I found him just like laying on another dude. I was like, this guy found his soulmate.
Obviously, it wasn't you.
It wasn't
I mean,
me. No, he used this really weird line on me, which I didn't understand. He's like, "Can I ask you a question?" He goes, "Are you Puerto Rican?" I go, "No." He's like, "I just met my dad for the first time, and you remind me of him. You look like him." And I was like, "Cool, man." And then we get on the plane, and it's at a point in my life when I'm in my 20s, and I still have actually porn expectation of like I can get on a plane, sit next to a hot woman, and I can fuck her. So it's like that's what's going through my head in my 20s on a plane. So I'm like watching the aisle, try to figure out where I'm going to sit, or I think I'm getting on last. And I'm like, cool. And I'm supposed to sit next to a hot blonde chick. And then I'm about to sit down. And then I'm about to talk to this girl. And then this fucking guy with the Puerto Rican dad comes up and he goes, "I'm so sorry, honey. Is it cool if I sit with my friend?" And I don't even have time to like stop it before she's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." And she like goes to his seat.
and you're like, no.
It's like So this guy was like a maniacal airplane
Cop blocker.
blowjob giving genius. Yeah.
Well, he's a cop blocker too.
Well, he's trying to create a situation.
Yeah.
He's not trying to block a situation.
Well, I know that I did fly out of Miami once, and there was like a whole bunch of nuns there waiting for our flight, and I'm just thinking, I'm going to get sit next to one of them.
Oh, hilarious!
And this plane is going to
And they're
combust
gonna
into
ask you.
flames.
Oh, you're worried about divine retribution?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm not worried. Well, when we walk the red carpet,
No, they can't kill the nun plane.
No,
That's the safest plane in the
no,
sky. If you believe in anything.
the lightning would probably just strike me. Do you know? Were you
Through the
actually-
window?
Did you do the red carpet? At
No.
Okay,
No.
well, so you missed out on all the protesting.
Yeah, I heard about it. I did hear about it. What was it saying?
Jesus, you spread STDs. You don't have to do this. Jesus will save you.
Yeah, you should ask them when their last test was, because I'm out here in the streets and
listen.
these civilian people are not getting tested.
Well,
at
my
all.
my whole thing is that as of right now, none of us are fucking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure someone else is somewhere else.
Yeah.
And also, it's not like I go to his sidewalk at his house and tell him to suck my dick. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just saying.
That is true. That was that Louis C.K. bit where people are mad when like gay people are like getting married and stuff. It's like and just that gay people are out
They
there.
should be just as miserable as we are.
He's like, yeah. But no. Louis C.K.'s bit was this thing about he's like gay guys are not like going up to dudes and just like banging them through their pants
Yeah.
like on the sidewalk. It's not like a real problem that affects you.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with your.
But then
with your
again, we
life.
had Deadpool out there too. They were protesting the protesters.
There was
a guy dressed as Deadpool. So he was
protesting the protesters.
Protesting the protesters.
Well,
so
I don't
was
trust that guy
entertaining.
because he's covering his face, so he's not real.
Yeah, well,
If you're gonna protest, put your face on it.
But it was entertaining though.
No, for
so,
sure.
It did, because you talked about the award show lasted a long time.
Yeah.
Stand out there and wait for the red carpet to
Yeah, I
get
heard
going.
that was bad too.
that
They have people on the so for you guys that don't know, the show started at almost 10.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to start at 8. It started at almost 10.
We were like on our second tray of sushi by then.
It might have even been after 10 because I think it's only an 80-minute show.
Actually, I think
and
it was like
ended at
11-ish. I
midnight.
think it was almost 11-ish.
Yeah, and it's only an 80-minute show, and it ended after 12. And and then but the red carpet started at like 4. They told the girls to get there at 4.
Mm-hmm.
So then these people were in heels from 4 until almost 1 a.m.
Most people were doing that.
You were eating sushi.
No. I was on the red carpet.
Yeah.
But what I did is I wore my house shoes.
Yeah.
Held my heels in my hand.
Yeah.
Up until the very moment my pinky toe had to step in front of the camera for
Yeah.
AVN. Because I have not... I mean, I've been this rodeo before.
Yeah. Do you see my post? You see, because you didn't want... We took photos, and you didn't want your house shoes to be in photos, so I put fake heels on you. Did you see my post on Instagram?
Oh, my God, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, I put fake heels on. When you reposted it, it's you with Instagram heels on it.
Oh, my God, I have to
You
look.
shared
Okay,
it.
I have
It's
to
great.
look. I have
Yeah.
to look. Because I know that you posted the picture of my hair all up in like doing
Yeah,
the
whatever it
selfie
was.
we did at the hair.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
Yeah, I was getting my hair done, y'all. I mean, it was like, I
Yeah.
wasn't like, psh, I wasn't trying
It
to
was
bring
my-
80s
it was
back
my
or
first
nothing.
Thing, it was my first thing at my first ability to go to AVN Stars.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to bring the 80s back or nothing. I just,
You're at the Oyo Hotel. It used to be the Hooters Hotel, and
Yes.
when it was Hooters, they all of the amenities weren't even available for like the last 4 years they were in business. What I thought was cool was because I was with a Vegas local, and then what the fuck is Oyo? So we get over here and we realize it used to be Hooters Hotel. Hooters is still in it, and then over the Hooters sign they've just put the Oyo like logo with like a vinyl banner. So I thought I thought it'd be kind of funny if like underneath this was also Hooters. Everything that says Oyo still says Hooters.
Do you know the funny thing about this is that if you use those little markers on Twitter, it's like making titties.
What is those markers?
I can make titties out of that. You just do like a semicolon.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you use? Like the little half circle.
Yeah.
A half circle, and then you do the Y.
Yeah.
And then you do it again, and then it's like titties.
It's just titties. Oh, like in a shirt or like with a thing. Yeah,
So that's the cleavage right there.
I got you. And then also, that's how we used to do. That's what calculators were all about for
Yes.
like at least
Boobies.
6 years. Yeah, boobs. Oh, you can do boobies. My
Yeah.
crew wasn't even smart enough. Yeah, you can do IE. Yeah, so we would just do. We would literally just do boobs, and then flip it.
Yeah.
I guess
We've evolved so much.
people were so dumb. Have we though? So I was having this debate the other day. It's like there's no smart cartoons anymore.
No, because everybody gets offended.
Is that what it is?
I guess they're offended by it because because you had like Wile E. Coyote.
Do you remember what we learned? We learned shit.
Yeah.
We were not realizing how much shit we're picking up. But like I know that like if I become an ice cube in the Arctic, that a Saint Bernard pouring tequila in my mouth will save me from that. That's like I didn't know that. You know what I mean? There's stuff that we learned.
Life lessons.
I knew that. Now I know that elephants are afraid of mice because of cartoons.
I know that if I go running at a high rate of speed, and if I just, which is funny within itself because we know I don't run high rate of speed. If you just draw a door on a wall, I can just go right through it.
You can absolutely go right through it.
An anvil will kill me.
Yeah. Right. Well, an anvil was a thing.
And Acme was the products to get.
That dynamite was a thing. That like certain things. Last night at the Grammys they had a sousaphone, which is an upright tuba. It's a marching band tuba, goes around your body. John Philip Sousa redesigned the tuba because it's a motherfucker hard to hold.
Right.
It's too big to hold and walk. So they just made it so that it does all the same notes. But so in the cartoons, that's the only tuba.
Right.
So I remember going to band and like they were like, "This is a tuba." I was like, "Fuck you, it is." I saw Elephant playing a tuba on the show I was watching yesterday. It's a different instrument. Why is this a different instrument? But yeah, we did. We had real intelligent things that were like trying to make us better.
Like
people.
we didn't have the nets for trampolines. We didn't have
Right.
like if you fell off, guess what?
You learned a lesson
you
today.
learned not to fall off.
You figured out how to stay on a goddamn trampoline.
If you pinched your fingers in the springs,
yeah.
because we didn't have the spring.
You know how many
guards.
times my sister closed my like arm, leg in the door of the car, like closed my face in the window, like there's children locks now because people would make you stop putting your face in there, but but like there was like don't shove your face in the window because your fucking family will accidentally close your head in it or on purpose close your head in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were smarter.
Yeah.
We were smarter then.
Don't touch that. If you stick a bobby pin into an electrical outlet,
right.
you know not to do that after you do
the
it
floor.
first time.
Yeah. Well, no. So Yamanika Saunders has this great joke about like everybody knew that there were pedophiles when we were growing up. You knew which house it was. Your parents pointed at that house. Said, "Don't go near that fucking house."
Mm-hmm.
And if you went near that house and you got molested, you got. That's it. It was the 80s, and that's what happened. I told you not to go near. You tried to tell your parents. I told you not to go to that fucking house.
It's crazy because when I remember living, growing up, and I'm like in elementary school. I remember walking like a mile to my friend's house. Like
We
it was
would
nothing.
play for 7 hours. Nobody would
You
know
weren't
where
allowed
we
to come
were.
home. Yeah, you weren't allowed to come home till dark.
Just come home.
But as long as it wasn't dark.
Right.
I mean, you had to be there.
Yeah.
Because back where I lived, we didn't have street lights, so there
Yeah.
was no street lights to come on. But you had to be there. Like, you had to be home.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't let you. We drank from the water hose.
Yeah, me and my sister.
We were rebels.
Me and my sister got accidentally put our bikes on one side of the woods one time. We got lost in the woods. We had to go through all this mud. It got dark. We finally got out. We were worried that because it got dark, people would be looking for us. We got out, got back to our bikes, went back home. They didn't even know we were gone. Nobody even knew we were gone. We thought we were lost forever, and that they had a search party out for us. And we were in trouble. Nobody knew we left.
Yeah. Well, I did learn that if I was, about like my husband, I was kind of like the same mind frame. If I knew I was going to be late, I was just going to be really late. Because
Yeah.
if I'm going to be in trouble, I might as well really be in trouble. you
Right.
know?
That's the thing.
If I'm going to be late for 5 minutes, I'd rather be late for 5 hours. You know?
Yeah. If I'm going to pay the price.
Yeah.
I got to that point. I got to that point in my first jealous relationship where I was and I just couldn't reconcile this because it was I'm not cheating, but I'm being accused of cheating. So fuck it, I may as well be cheating because I'm getting the same. I'm getting the same result.
Punishment, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was too dumb and young to go, break up with this crazy bitch.
Yeah.
So instead, I was like, I'll just cheat because I'm already paying the price.
Right.
Which is, hindsight.
Yeah.
Or growing up, being
If
an adult.
what we know now back then would just be
Yeah, being an adult.
mind blown. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I finally reached the level of I'm going to call it because of this trip of some of the things that happened. I've been calling it enlightenment. I finally reached my own Buddha period where I have such a sense of self that nobody else can sort of hurt me. Like I find it weird that people are so fragile that the rest of their life will be ruined if their wife cheats on them once.
Right.
But people live in that world where I went to after the avians. I went to a party with some civilians, and one of the discussions that happened was a guy was telling a complete stranger about the fact that he was married for 11 years to a woman who turned out to be a lesbian. And they're like, "Okay, well, when was that?" It's like, "Oh, well, I'm already remarried." It's like, "Bitch, why are you still talking about this? How
Wow.
is this your entire life? Is that you're that this thing hurt you so bad because you didn't know?"
And the whole thing with that is, honestly, if you were with someone, this is my opinion, of course. If you're with someone and you find out that, let's say they're they're attractive, like I was married to a guy and he ended up, being gay and
Yeah.
I don't have a dick. I can't compete with that.
Right.
So it was not
not
obviously
about
nothing
you.
I did.
It's not
so
about
it's like,
you.
yeah, it's not me. So
I got cheated on. It's not about me.
Right,
It's not
so-
about me at all. It's
Right,
about that
so-
person not
right.
having the full understanding of themselves.
Right.
And they put themselves in the situation to be in a straight marriage. And also, look, sexuality is complex, and especially in the day and age that we've all grown up in,
Right.
we're finally to a place where there's a layer of acceptance.
Yeah.
But there was a period of time where being gay was a
Was
murder.
not, yes.
Like you were going to get murdered by people. Like
Right.
you were a witch. You were all the things.
Oh, yeah.
And they would stone you to death in the square.
Yeah.
And
Well, same thing goes for the porn industry. It's evolved so much that we still catch hell, but I mean, it's so much more out there now than it ever was.
Yeah.
We can talk about it a little bit more than Everybody kind of admits that they're on the freaky side now a little
Yeah.
bit more than they used to, do it, and so I agree with you. It's the way things have changed over the years is just night and day. It really is.
But the takeaway still is this thing of you got to figure out who you are, and you don't worry about what these other people do. You got to keep it moving for yourself,
Right.
And you need to be one complete whole person on your own, not expect that somebody else is going to fill in the other half, because that other half can't come from another person. That's got to come from you.
Right.
I was surveying all my old relationships, and I found out that most of the people that I dated were not financially responsible, and they were waiting for the other half of the money to come in. And it's well, my career's great as long as I got another $100,000 coming in from the other side.
Right.
And it's you can't live that way,
Right.
at all. Let's go ahead. I was gonna ask you to plug all your stuff.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at the Kimmie Kaboom, TheKimmie Kaboom, and I still have the Instagram I had last year. It's not shut down. It's been 1 year, full year.
Nice.
It's KIMMIEKAB00M. And, of course, my website is KimmieKaboom.com and, all that good stuff. My Snap Kimmie, Text Kimmie, and Kimmie.
Please pay for your porn. Please keep it the people that you
Mm-hmm.
want in this industry creating content. That's the only way we have left to do it. You pay for everything else in your life that you like. Pay for the things in entertainment that you like. You're paying $5 for Disney Plus. Throw some people $5 a month for their exclusive content.
Exactly. You know, the other thing they can do too is like I do have a Pornhub channel.
Yeah.
This is something that why don't you just watch my videos, give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Let's Pornhub know I'm around.
Well, there
is.
is a premium now to activity and to what's the word? Getting likes on Instagram and follows and all these things.
Yeah, so just
this is a
like me and all that
monetizable
good
thing
stuff.
now.
Yeah, so just give me a little thumbs up. If you have something shitty to say, keep it to yourself because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite way to end the show. It's like I'll ask for a review, and like if you had a good time, we'd love to hear the review. Whatever you had a bad time, just keep your fucking mouth shut. Nobody likes a snitch.
Yeah. Snitches get stitches.
So we're sponsored by Spunk Lube. We rebroadcast by the Demoncy Radio Network. We're on all the platforms you are, so check out all those things. I've started a Patreon to see what you guys are specifically interested in checking out. I started some BTS Safe for Work content. I was thinking of what we could do, so I'm going to challenge you to a Yo Mama contest that we'll post on Instagram to promote this episode. So check out that behind-the-scenes stuff, guys, the extra features, and follow and watch the Kimmie Kaboom stuff.
And be sure to get him Dunkin' Donuts gift cards.
Yeah, for some dick tips.
He's all about giving out some shit. So I'm still trying to figure out what I can get for $100, but whatever.
If you never saw it, me and Kimmie did a show called Porn Stars and Comedians. Very fun show. It's on the internet now, and the audio is available on SoundCloud.
Yeah, we did too.
So check out those things because Kimmie's also very funny. You guys are dope. Thank you for listening and watching.